Hey everybody, what is up? It is Mr. Extrodin yet again with another video. This is African Frame Podcast. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Also click the notification bell icon so that you can get notified of any other videos that may be coming out in the future. I'm not alone as usual. I'm with Rob Sibeko. He's a writer, he's a director. As I've said before, he's a writer. He has a book out actually called Jin's War. Do get yourself a copy. It's only $50. I'll leave a link in the description below of the book. If you're a reader, I'm sure you will really enjoy his work. If you need some more convincing, then you should just watch the rest of this video and see how we unpack the content that we consume. What do we consume? We consume movies and we dissect films. This is what the podcast is about. We've done different genres. We've done romance. We've done action. We've done animation. What else have we done? We've done
black and white. We've done color.
Yeah, we've done black and white. We've done color. So we do any other film, like every film that we find interesting, So yeah, just sit back, get your popcorn, get your drink, and check us out as we dissect movies. You might not agree with everything that we say, but hey, it is what it is. Actually, I wanted to tell you, Rob, that I have a friend who commented about the Rebel Moon video. I told him to comment on the channel though, because he disagrees with us, eh?
He loves it. He's like, it's high art.
He loves it. Let me see if I can find that. I'll just read it out loud. It says, "You guys are not fair. Rebel Moon is my favorite movie, and I don't like how you guys rated it."
I never thought I'd meet someone.
Yeah, look, even Bergmeister was surprised. I was like, wait, what? So,
someone.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I'm thinking maybe this person, some people just like watching movies for the action, or I don't know. People have different reasons why they like certain movies. So I'm thinking maybe that's his reason. Maybe he just likes the action. I don't know. Because some people don't like they don't like the world building. They don't like the dialogue. They just want to see people punching each other.
True. And you have to remember something. We were all raised on SABC and ETV.
Yes.
Raised on Mnet and all these other fancy channels. Yes. So Friday Action Night, we grew up on Chuck Norris, on Billy Blanks, Van Damme, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We weren't being raised on Citizen Kane and all this stuff.
No.
So it makes sense. If your standard for drama is Days of Our Lives.
Exactly. And these kind of movies that we love, like your Seven and all these other movies that like this one that you just mentioned now. What is it again? Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
They would play late at night. Like they would play like at 11 p.m. or you know what I mean? They wouldn't play at 8. They would play after the film at 8.
Not the Sunday o'clock, not the Sunday 8 o'clock movie. You know what I mean?
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah. But anyway, so guys, today we're gonna be talking about a film starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman, two heavyweights in Hollywood, and the film is called Prisoners. Prisoners came out in 2013, and it has a running time of 153 minutes, and it had a budget of 46 million and made 122.1 million at the box office. That's a good number.
Yeah.
I mean, they made more than double. Also, it was directed by Denis Villeneuve. We spoke about Denis Villeneuve before, haven't we?
Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, he's one of my favorite directors, so we mention him often. Yeah.
He did Sicario.
Yes.
He also did Blade Runner 2049. Oh, his latest film is Dune.
Yes.
That's why. Because I remember you mentioned him before, and then he did he did Dune Part 2. I'm not sure when it's coming out. I think it's coming out next month in March.
I hope so, because it's been pushed back like by 2 years almost.
Wow.
Like, it was shot a long time ago.
That's crazy. And it was written by Aaron Guzikowski. I've never heard of Aaron Guzikowski.
That one is, I'm assuming that's like the author or something. I'm assuming this is based off a book. I'm not actually sure. He's got some movies. Yeah.
He's an American screenwriter. He's best known for writing Prisoners and creating the 2014 television series The Red Road. Yep. And he created
Raised by Wolves.
Raised by Wolves.
Which is apparently a really good movie, like a really good one. That's what I've Raised by Wolves. It got cancelled, unfortunately, but apparently it was fantastic. I haven't had a chance to watch it myself.
A season, yeah. I think I heard someone talk about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, Kim Engelbrecht is here as well. That's interesting. Anyway, and then as I've mentioned before, it stars Hugh Jackman. I mean, Hugh Jackman. Everybody knows him as Wolverine.
Yep.
He was in Les Miserables. He was in Swordfish. He was in what's that movie that he did with Zendaya a few years ago? The Greatest Showman?
Yes, I think that's The Greatest Showman, yes.
He was also in what's this movie that I'm thinking? The Prestige.
That is, yes, Christopher Nolan. That's his big one for me right there, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think that he's one of the best. I know you are a bit, skeptical about that, but for me, I personally think he's one of the best actors we have. And it also has Viola Davis. I feel like this is before Viola Davis blew up. You know, Viola Davis back in the day, you would see her, but you didn't really pay attention to her, if that makes sense.
True enough. But yeah.
Because I remember watching Eat, Pray, Love.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Eat, Pray, Love, or was it another movie? And he was Julia Roberts' friend, dog. I was like, wait, what?
Oh,
she's been. It's just that she was like in the, she's not like Octavia Spencer. Octavia Spencer, for me, used to play like tertiary roles in movies for the most part before she got that big break in The Help. But with Viola Davis, I felt like for me, she was not even, I didn't even notice her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only now that I'm older and I know who she is that when I look at some of the old movies, I'm like, oh, she was here?
Yeah, no, exactly what you mean. Like Law-Abiding Citizen as the mayor, Disturbia as one of the detectives.
Actually, that's one of the movies that I would like us to do soon. Disturbia.
The original Hitchcock one.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is the first week we'll do the original, then the second week we'll do the or vice versa. We'll do like the.
Yeah, whenever we kick that show off that we keep saying we're gonna do.
Yeah, but how are we gonna do that, dog? Are we just gonna do?
We're just gonna at the same time somehow.
We're gonna do both movies at the same time.
Yep, even though that's exhausting, I can imagine us struggling.
Yo, that's probably gonna be like a 4-hour.
Yeah. Or we take a week off and then we do both movies for one thing and we squeeze it into 3 hours or something. I don't even know how we do
it. But we'll see how we do it. That'll be interesting.
Definitely.
But you're right. Like, she's been in so many things. I mean, even I remember a few years ago, I tried to check her awards, bro. Like, this lady has won so many awards. It's not even funny. Like,
yeah, and one of them was an Oscar, which is nice.
Yeah, that was for The Help, right? I
believe so. Yes. The Help is definitely what to me put on the map. Like, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, she was also in How to Get Away with Murder, and she was also in what's this film that I'm thinking about?
Fences, bro.
Fences, yes, Fences, yes.
She went for Fences.
Yeah.
Not for The Help.
What's this movie that I'm thinking about? The Woman King?
Yes, Woman King, yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Same.
And then you have Paul Dano.
Yeah, Paul Dano, yeah.
I feel like he's slowly becoming a household name. I mean, he's the Riddler in the Batman.
Yes.
With Robin Pattinson.
Because that's who he is. But he was already a big star when he came to There Will Be Blood and 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, I wanted to say 12 Years a Slave, but I remember there's a film and with him in it. I think he was even the lead, but it was a comedy. It was not like these serious roles that he plays
Uh,
now.
the comedy I know that he did was the one where he was mute. He wanted to join the Air Force, and he
Uh-huh.
was in Little Miss Sunshine. Um, it's that movie actually won an Oscar for best film actually. But Little Miss Sunshine, an amazing comedy starring Steve Carell, and he's like one of the son. He's like the son, and yeah, I love him so much in the
I
film.
remember Little Miss Sunshine. Wasn't Steve Carell like the uncle or something?
Yes, he was the uncle that had like that they were like looking after because he just come out of hospital. Yeah.
Because I remember there was a scene where uh the girl wanted to enter some beauty contest or something, or like some
That's the main thrust of the storyline. Yeah.
yeah yeah yeah. No, we should do a thing.
Yeah.
Um,
There Will Be Blood is probably the bigger one.
yes, we should also do that one. But yeah, that's Paul Dano. I don't know of any other big project that he's worked on, but he is that guy, man. I don't think it's someone that you can easily forget.
Absolutely.
He was in Cowboys and Aliens. He was also in Love and Mercy. He was in Night and Day. So yeah, he's that dude.
Yeah.
And then you also have Maria Bello.
You say
Uh,
Jake already.
pardon?
You're saving Jake for later.
Yeah, I guess we'll do him
Ah,
later. Maria Bello, she plays Hugh Jackman's wife.
Dover, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize that she was in so many things, but wow. I mean, um she was in ER, the series.
Yeah, with George Clooney.
Yeah, yeah. And she was in Coyote Ugly.
That one is surprising, eh? Because like who was she in that one?
Hey, dude, I don't know.
She was the main person. She was not the main character, but the mentor person in Coyote Ugly, which is crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's these actors where you're like, oh my god, is that you?
Dude, she was in Grown Ups, bruh, with
Yeah.
Adam Sandler and Kevin James and Chris Rock and David Schwimmer and David Spade. And then she was in The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Um, oh, is she the one who replaced Rachel Weisz?
I would assume so, because I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, because remember, all of a sudden in the third Mummy, we're like, who's this? This is the wife? It was a completely different person, but yeah, that's her.
Yeah. So
Um,
she's hilarious in the TV show Beef. I recommend it to anyone.
oh,
It's
is she in Beef?
Beef.
This
She's
is
the
Ali
rich.
Ali Wong and Yun. What's his name? Is it Stephen Yun?
Possible, yeah.
Oh, I need to check out Beef because I think I saw like bits and pieces of the first episode where Stephen Yun was just driving like a madman and Ali Wong was pissed off and she chased him around.
It takes off in a way that in directions I didn't expect.
Yeah.
It's better than you would have thought it would be. It's one of those. It's from those people that make all those unique movies, like what's it called, Project 24, A24. Those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They make like the movie like The Green Knight and that White Norseman movie,
Yeah.
and Midsummer I think is also on that list, is also a part of it. But they make all these weird, unique movies, so it fits in amongst those, even though it's a TV series, like 6 episodes. Fantastic.
Oh, is it 6 episodes?
Yeah, only 6 episodes. Netflix style.
Yeah, you're right about A24, man. I mean, they did Euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
They also did the Carmichael show.
Yes.
So it's as if they do like independent films, if that makes sense.
They do like this. It's like they've figured out a vibe and they've stuck with it.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Blumhouse. You know how Blumhouse has a vibe? They've
Who?
Blumhouse. The horror
Blumhouse
movie
sounds
guys.
familiar. What did they do? What did they do?
They did The Visitor, the M. Night Shyamalan one. They did the Conjuring movies. I believe that's them as well.
Oh, okay.
But basically, Blumhouse, what they do, they even made a weird Tokoloshi movie, I think. I heard about that.
They do like these dark stuff.
Yes, they do horror movies. I think the Grudge with Ethan Hawke, that's also them as well.
Oh, is the Grunts the one where the cover shows someone wearing a mask, like a
Hey, did not think of the ring. Wait, am I the one? No, I'm wrong. It's Maleficent or something. Not Maleficent. Sure,
Well, isn't Ethan Hawke like a villain in that one?
I think he's like the main character, but then I think it like becomes a twist because it turns out like the house is evil and there's ghosts in it, and crap, I'm so bad at the names, and I know when we just find it.
Oh, I'm talking about Black Phone. I don't think that's the
Black Phone is Ethan Hawke, yes, but yeah, Blumhouse make movies like those, and that's like their specialization. Sinister, it's called Sinister.
Sinister. Oh, okay. No, I'm not familiar with Sinister.
And then I think they did The Purge as well. Let me just see here. I'm 90% sure they did The Purge as well, because Blumhouse, that's what they do. Yeah, it's Blumhouse as well. That's what they do. All these weird horror movies. If you can think of a horror movie that where you like, I bet you it cost them $2 million to make this movie, but they made $100 million profit. They made it. That's Blumhouse for you, man.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We also have wait. I feel like did I do her justice though? I mean, I mentioned.
Well, I mentioned Beef. You mentioned ER and even though Beef is probably my favorite one of hers. Well, Coyote Ugly, of course. You said that already. And I feel like that. A History of Violence. I have not watched this movie yet, even though I know I should.
History of Violence.
Yeah, the one with Aragon.
Oh, okay. I don't know it.
Yeah, but it's apparently a really good movie, and you know what's his face? He always kills it, man. Viggo Mortensen always kills it, man.
No, always.
Always. He doesn't miss.
She was also on Assault on Prison 13. The movie with Ethan Hawke and Lawrence Fishburne.
I know the movie, but damn. I mean,
yeah, like I'm being honest. I'm not familiar with her.
I feel like
her work.
Movies are on her back. If you know what I mean. Like Coyote Ugly, she carried the weight on that one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like Beef, she definitely carried her weight on that one as well. But then all the other stuff, it's like the wife. Even in this movie, she's in bed for most of the movie, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into it, but you're absolutely right. I feel like she was just there.
Yeah. But hey, man, someone else I want us not to miss is surprisingly, David Dust Malchain, the guy who plays like that creepy guy. I mean, he plays as in the Suicide Squad. He plays as Polka Dot guy. He plays Polka Dot Man.
Oh yeah, but he had a very short role. Yeah. But I see the guy you're talking about. Yeah.
There's surprisingly big actors in this movie, dude.
Yeah, it's an ensemble.
Yeah.
And what else did he do, that guy?
Dude, so many things. Not just that, of course, but okay. Of course, yeah. He was in the Dark Knight. Yeah, you know Dark Knight when he played with the gun. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
The Dark Knight with the gun.
You know when in Dark Knight when Dent captures one of the crazy people that tried to kill the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And then he puts a gun and he's like, I'm gonna flip a coin, and he pulls the trigger, flips the coin, pulls the trigger. That guy, and then the guy gets scared and like, yeah, that's him.
What?
But that's him.
But you know what I've noticed? There's some actors that are just loyal to either Marvel or DC. Like they would rather just either do Marvel projects or do DC projects. I feel like he just does DC projects.
Yeah. Yep. Man, show up again. And get this. He's in a Batman cartoon called Batman, The Doom That Came to Gotham.
Oh, yeah.
So he's in that as well.
He's also he was Abracadabra in The Flash.
Ha! Yeah, you're right. I didn't even know that.
You see what I mean?
Yes. And he's in Batman The Long Halloween. Hey, man, DC was like, look, we got your back, buddy.
Yeah. No, but I've noticed this thing a while back that there's certain people that, like for instance, I think Mark Hamill would do a DC project before he does any Marvel project. You know what
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, like Chris Evans has been in The Flash. I'm sorry. Chris Evans has been in Mr. What's his name again? The Torch. There we go. And he's been in, of course, Captain America. But they're both Marvel. So,
Yeah, but he was also in The Losers, which is DC.
Okay.
But I see here he played Kurt in the Ant-Man. You remember there was T.I. and there was another guy who were Michael Peña's friends.
Oh, like a little, that's a mini role, but I hear you. Yes.
Yeah. And he's in Dune as well. He's in Oppenheimer.
But I haven't seen. Is he in June 2 or June 1? Because I don't remember him in June 1.
June 1.
Is he in that one? I don't remember him in that one.
He's in that one.
Hmm.
And then let's see. Yeah, I guess that's what we can say about him.
Yeah. And then there's Terrence Howard.
Hey man.
Man, remember the memes that used to be there? The man.
Hey man.
Man.
Hey man, I don't wanna lie. I grew up watching this guy, man. For me, he brings it almost all the time, if not all the time, dog.
Unless they fire his ass, but yes.
Pardon?
Unless they fire his ass for Don Cheeto, apparently.
Next time, baby. We've never seen the next time, dog. I've had dreams about this guy being War Machine, dog. And I'm being for real. I've had dreams about him returning as War Machine.
And
that's how crazy it is.
Like, did he beef with that? I think they're mad at him or something. Because with the multiverse of madness, how are you not going to bring him back?
According to him, he says that his intention, like what the reason he signed off was he was going to appear in the first Iron Man film, then he was going to do his own trilogy afterwards.
Yes, okay, yeah, I heard about this as well. Basically, the thing is, he said different stories, apparently. The one story I heard, and this came out of his mouth, if I'm correct, in one of his interviews, was he said, remember, at that time, he was the biggest name there.
Yeah.
He was bigger than Iron Man. He was bigger than Tony Stark, because Tony Stark was still in his recovery phase.
Yes, because I think he had just done Kiss Kiss Bang Bang or something.
Yeah, but that was like a little bit of recovery. But Terrence Howard was on fire, so he got like a $26 million contract.
Yeah, he was earning way more than everybody there.
Yeah, and then when it was time for the next,
he was earning more than Gwyneth Paltrow, but I know that he was earning more than the Robert Downey at the time.
Yeah, and then it was time for the next 26 million. They were like, "We're gonna give you 2 or something like that."
Yeah, imagine, bro. Who would take that though? Who would take that?
Yeah, who would take? And I get it. For us broke people, that's a lot of money. But it's like if a job gives you a demotion, you're gonna quit that job, even you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Because you think that you contributed to the success of the first film anyway.
And he
even
did.
if you're the main character. You know what I'm saying?
And he did.
And also he has the looks. So I think that he was too much of a leading man in a movie where he's not the main character.
True.
So he could have, he had dog. But anyway, that's a story for another day. And also, Don Cheadle was also approached from the beginning to play Rhodey, but I think for some reason they chose Terrence Howard instead. So.
Don Cheadle was chosen.
Well, he was one of the runner-ups. Let me put it like that. Discussions were had before.
They were going for that light-skinned vibe. They were like, let's get someone light-skinned. And they like pulled him in. They were like, yeah, get Terrence Howard, man.
Yeah, I guess.
That yellow bones in there.
Because sometimes I think you just need a draw.
Yeah.
Like someone who will pull in the crowd.
Of course. Sean Connery in Untouchables, of course.
Yeah, or what's this movie? And I'm hoping that we'll do it. I was thinking about it a few days ago. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yes, an overhated film in my opinion. Way overhated.
I honestly don't know why people hate it. I have no idea why they hate it. I love it. But
I love it too, man. The whole Dorian Gray thing.
I was thinking about Dorian Gray. Actually, I wanted to mention Dorian Gray.
Yeah. I heard that myth until I watched that movie. Then I actually read about it. It was actually kind of very interesting. So like.
And there was an Indian man who was rich there. I'm like, who's this guy? I don't know who this guy is, but yeah.
Yeah, the one time they don't use the other Indian, and they should have used him. Like, what is his name again? They always use the one Indian guy for everything, I swear. The guy who played Gandhi, what's his name?
Oh,
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Ben Kingsley.
As Mandarin. He played as a Mandarin.
Ben Kingsley. Sir Ben Kingsley.
Sir Ben Kingsley. It's like.
Is he Indian though?
I don't know actually.
Because in Lucky Number 11 he plays a Jewish man. He plays a rabbi.
I'm fairly sure that it would be the most racist thing. I got me curious because I'm pretty sure he is, but at the same time, I'm not. Let me not.
And even in Moses, he played a Hebrew. So I don't know. Like,
I'm positive he's not Jewish though. Like I feel like that's just them like race swapping. But let me see, because his name is Ben Adir.
Ben Kingsley. Yeah.
Ben Adir Kings. Oh wait, no, that's his. Oh no, I think that's someone else.
Sir Ben Kingsley. Born
How many Ben Kingsleys are there?
Krishna Pandit Banji. I think you're right. This is an Indian name.
I'm 70% sure. Maybe he's born in Britain. Yeah, he's born in Britain.
Yeah, but his birth name is.
Yeah, but he's Indian. It says it here. Born in England, but his father was Indian. Yeah, and his mother was English. So yeah.
Was Jewish English.
I doubt it. Goodman. I guess it's possible.
Well,
is that what it says there by you?
That's what I'm seeing on Wiki here. So.
I guess he filled in both things. I guess we were both right in our own way.
Yeah. Just give me a second. But I think didn't he play like a Greek character before?
I'm pretty sure he's played everything at this point. This guy. At this point, he's played everything. Like he's played in one of my favorite. Actually, a movie that I think is underrated was Ender's Game. He's that guy.
Ah, yes, that's a movie I want to watch. It's based on a book, right?
Yeah, based on a book. Even though I swear he's low-key Native American in that one, where they got the face paint and shit like that. I don't know what's going on there. Like that man has played everything. He's played the Mandarin.
Yeah, the fake Mandarin.
I feel like the name Mandarin already gives away that he's supposed to be Asian. But
exactly, because Mandarin is the language, right?
Yeah. And of course, the original Iron Man character villain is Asian. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did him justice by including him in that movie. What's that movie again? Shang-Chi.
Oh, you mean they brought him back? Yes, because everyone was like, no, you did the Mandarin dirty.
Exactly. But yeah, he was in Dead Presidents.
We're looking at actors from a different movie. But yes, yeah, say it again.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said we're looking at actors from a different movie entirely right now.
you know how we do with tangents, man.
You know how it is, dude.
But yeah, he was in Crash, which is one of my favorite films of all time.
What?
In Big Mama's House.
That's hilarious. Okay, yeah.
And funny enough, he's with Don Cheadle in that one. And they know each other very well. So, because Don Cheadle was like, no, we don't have beef. Like, we spoke about it before I took on the role of Rhodey.
Are you talking about Terrence Howard?
Yeah.
It's not his fault. I mean,
yeah,
it's not his fault. They said no to him, and then they went to the next name.
Yeah.
It would be unfair for Terrence Howard to be like, I need everyone to not do this.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I'm just saying that they are friends. Like, they spoke about it. Like, he spoke to Terrence about it. Like, yo, this is the situation. It's like, oh, okay, cool, man. Do your thing. He was also in Get Rich or Die Trying.
Of course.
Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow is my favorite, absolutely. That's my thing with him.
Okay, I'll check that out. For me, my thing with him is actually The Best Man, bro. The franchise of The Best Man.
Really?
Yeah, is it Quentin, I think, is one of my favorite characters, bro. But like I said, I grew up watching this guy. There used to be a sitcom called Sparks. I don't know if you remember Sparks. I loved seeing him in Sparks. It was a sitcom with the late Uncle Phil. What's his name again? James Avery.
Yes, James Avery, yes.
Yeah. With who's that lady from Boomerang? The lady was married to Mike Tyson. Hot. What's her name again? Yeah, I forgot her name. But just give me a second. I'll tell you now. Robin Givens.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
And I think that's everybody. Oh, and then Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal. Yo. I first got. Well, I was introduced to him in a movie called The Day After Tomorrow. where he was playing the son of Dennis Quaid.
Yes.
And I was like, this guy looks like, dude, I couldn't shake off the fact that this guy looked so much like Tobey Maguire. I'm like, yeah, wait, is this Tobey? No, this is not Tobey. Is that Tobey? No, this is not Tobey. And I kept on telling people that, dude, there's this guy that looks like exactly like Tobey Maguire. And boom, a movie called The Brothers comes out a couple of years later. I'm like, you see, somebody saw what I saw.
It's funny because for me it was Johnny. It wasn't Johnny Depp. It was Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy, yeah. I've just seen. I didn't watch that movie properly. Bubble Boy. Yeah, I need to check it out. But he was also one of the runner-ups for Batman. Like Christopher Nolan had put him in his list of actors to play Bruce Wayne. And funny enough, his sister got to play Rachel. Also, Tobey Maguire he broke his back or something during filming, I think, of Spider-Man 2, and then they wanted to replace him with Jake.
I heard about.
Yeah. So you see, they know. These people know, dog. Because Jake sometimes says that he would get into a cab and then the driver would be like, hey, Spider-Man, where are you going now? He's like, okay, let me just take it. What can I do? And just pretends to be Toby.
I don't even understand. I don't see it.
I see it, dog. I mean, now that I'm a lot older, I can see the differences because Toby looks a lot younger than Jake for some reason.
Tobey Maguire's got a very weird baby face.
Yeah.
And it's got a chill baby face, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I hope we'll do the brothers. We'll make a review of the brothers. What an amazing movie. He was also in Southpaw.
Yeah, Southpaw is the big one.
Funny enough, Eminem was actually considered for that role,
which makes sense. It would be like another 8 Mile type movie.
Yeah, and he was like, nah, I'll just do the soundtrack.
Yeah, I don't think you could get buff enough for that. I can't imagine Eminem buffing up. Like, Jake Gyllenhaal got ripped for that movie.
Yeah, no, Jake is an amazing, he can transform himself, dog. Like,
oh yeah.
He also did Source Code, if you remember Source Code.
Of course.
What else did he do that is iconic?
Johnny Darko is probably the most Zodiac, Jarhead, and Johnny Darko are probably his most iconic. Well, that and Brokeback Mountain, of course.
Yes.
But definitely for me, those are the ones that really blew my mind. And then, of course, Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't win an Oscar for that is crazy.
He won an Oscar for it.
I'm saying the fact that he didn't win an Oscar for that.
Did he actually win an Oscar for anything?
No.
It's just so weird. I also loved him in Love and Other Drugs. He was really good in that one. Yeah, man, for me, he's one of the best actors we have, bro.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like him in Spider-Man, but that's not his fault.
Yeah. Have you watched The Covenant?
No, I haven't watched The Covenant.
Guy Ritchie, Jake Gyllenhaal, good combination. And then after this movie, right? He went to Dennis Villeneuve again, and then did Enemy, which is a movie that is on my to-do list as a movie we need to watch.
There's a movie with him and She-Hulk. What's her name again? Is it Tatiana Maslany?
Same movie.
Just give me a second. Man, it looked like it was a good movie. Just want to see the title. Stronger. That's a movie that we also need to watch. Came out in 2017. Yeah, but anyway, that's the cast, guys. Oh, and also there's Melissa Leo.
So Mysterio and She-Hulk have been in a movie together. That's interesting.
Pardon?
Mysterio and She-Hulk have been in a movie together.
Yeah, I think there were a couple in there. I had a thing for Tatiana, bro. When I watched Orphan Black, I was like, wow, what a beautiful woman. But anyway.
Yeah, I only know She-Hulk.
Oh, okay. Melissa Leo, she was in All My Children. She was in what's this? Just give me a second. She was in The Fighter. Remember The Fighter with?
In The Fighter, which was honestly, there's an Oscar role right there. Right, that was amazing.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
As the manipulative mother, He's like a problem.
Yeah, no, that family was so dysfunctional, dog.
Dude.
The fact that his girlfriend had to intervene, dog.
To put her foot down, yes.
Hmm. And then she was in Red State, amongst others. She was in the Equalizer 2 and the first Equalizer. So yeah, no, she's been pushing for a very long time. Like she's a thespian of note. She was in Righteous Kill. Remember Righteous Kill?
Mhm. And then Oblivion, she plays as the robot. And I think she plays as the robot in Oblivion, I think.
Yes, you're right. Huh.
She's been around, bro.
Yeah, no, she's been, eh?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that is the cost, guys.
Hmm?
That is the cost. So yeah, let's get into it, man.
Yeah, let's do it. There's actually one other name I'm going to pull up, but later on.
Oh, you don't want to pull it on now?
Yeah, now you'll be surprised by the name when it comes up. Because we've seen them before, like last week even.
Them.
Well, one person. You've seen that one person last week. Now we're seeing them again. You'll be surprised who it is. But anyway, let's go
What
on.
did we do last week? We did Oh Brother We're Out There, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So considering the two atmospheres, that'll be very interesting. Cool. So movie is Prisoners, and our opening sequence, the title sequence comes in at the first moment. No build up, nothing, just Prisoners. And then it kicks off. We start with a prayer, the Lord's Prayer.
Yes.
In a way, this is a movie about religion, played very well to the point where you don't even notice it the first time watching it. It
Yeah.
opens up on a forest and the camera pulls back slowly to reveal a deer and then reveals two hunters, and the prayer ends with the son shooting the deer, and the father is very proud. The
Yes.
father being Kelly Dover, the son being Ralph Dover. It quickly cuts to them driving home with their kill. Kelly's talking about lessons from his own father.
Yes.
You can tell he's reverent of his father. He's got this high opinion of his father, which is relevant. But
Yes,
anyway,
definitely. This kid looks familiar. I couldn't wrap my head around where I've seen him, but I know this kid.
yeah, you still know him. He's been in a couple things. I'm not blank, but I promise you know him.
Yeah. I mean, he's a lot older now, but
Yes.
when I
Okay,
saw him, I was like, no, man, I know this kid, man.
like, gosh. Okay, this seems like it.
He's in 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yes, 13 Reasons Why.
He was in Prison Break.
Mm-hmm.
Was in Lost, Scandal, Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, but it's mostly TV stuff here. It's mostly TV stuff, yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, yo, bro, it was bothering me. I'm like, I know this guy. But anyway.
Yeah, anyway, it quickly cuts to them driving home with their kill. And Killer is talking about lessons about his father, about always being ready for anything. This is a moment of father and son bonding. We then see an RV driving through the neighborhood. We don't see the driver before the camera stays behind on the car with the father driving. It's a very similar shot to that Oh Brother How Art Thou shot where they do this kind of thing, and it kind of sticks over here to where the people we're actually going to deal with are. It's a nice little one too. They did the same thing in the last movie as well.
Wait, what do they do? I don't understand.
So basically, there'll be like a car or a character moving, and they'll follow the character, and then they'll disappear over there. But the camera will keep moving and then lock onto the people who are actually in the scene. It does like a double effect. So it shows relevant characters, right? And then it shows the location because you need like an establishing shot, right? So what it is it's a highly detailed establishing shot. So it sets up where you are, how much space there is in the shot. So while at the same time showing two different relevant items. Plot part one storyline that passes, then you rest over here. So no cuts involved, but you still get one fluid motion. Nothing is slow.
Oh, I get you.
Very cool filming technique. But yeah.
It is because it makes you think for a second, like, whoa, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, it just shows that what's the thing? Cross parallel lines. You know what I mean? Like,
Brilliant.
Yeah, there's a joke I always make that you never know how close you are from sex and death.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? For all you know, if you said the right thing at the right time, you could have had sex. If you said the wrong thing at the wrong time, you could have had death. You never know how close you are from each one. Do you know what I mean?
It's a thin line between come and death. Interesting. I hear you. I hear you.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, carrying on. Killer talk. Yeah, yeah. We see the RV. We cut to. We get a cut. Focusing on the family leaving the house. The family specifically walks to the other house. That family being the Birch family. We learn about Thingamajiggy being a competent, which will prove to be relevant. The families are all of similar ages. The daughters are close. The daughter and son are close in age. The two daughters is close in age.
Yes.
Everyone's like matching ages. It's kind of like perfect.
Which is highly relatable. You know, when I was growing up, man, you know, like my parents' friends would have kids which are nearly my age. So when they will see their friends, obviously by default, I would go see my friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what it kind of reminds you of? It's like those adverts, they are singles near you. Instead, it's they are 8-year-olds near your 8-year-old son. Come and meet them.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, the kids asked to go out and play. The teenage kids and this is set up where like you see the teenager, just to show that the parents aren't irresponsible. The teenagers are hanging with they must look after the kids as they go out.
But go there. There's a scene, man, where they knock on the door. Viola Davis opens the door, and they get in, and then Mr. What's his name again? Mr. Devon
Dover.
Mr. Dover calls his daughter, is like, "Hey, come here. Please only come inside when you're invited." I'm like, yo, that detail is.
Oh yeah, they are strict. They are strict with the kids.
Strict parents, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no question, no doubt. That father is like, yeah, it's been set up that he's a hard ass.
Yeah, almost militant, actually.
Yes, I was gonna say that, the military type, yes. So that the kids are playing with the ice and they start beating up on an RV, the same one we saw before. The kids treat it as a jungle gym and they have to be pulled off. The older kids stop when they think they hear a noise inside, but then they're pulled away from it. First time I watched this, I never noticed how much we actually focus on the RV. We even get an interior view like this. Like it's relevant. We're inside the house, we're enjoying the supper. The scenes are, but you'll notice something about every scene that's happened until now is that the scenes are completely silent in terms of music.
Yes.
It's a great way to build suspense, actually. And the scenes are jumping from one to the other also as well in a straight line. They're quick. We're doing this, next one. Doing this, next one. Doing this, next. It's very
to see Terrence Howard with Viola Davis. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, well, I can believe this.
It's an interesting combination, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like Denzel and Viola Davis, sure. Terrence, that's interesting.
But funny enough, if we're to be realistic, those couples exist without a shadow of a doubt, bro.
Yeah.
Those kind of couples, the Terrence Howard and the Viola Davis couple, yo, dog, there's a lot of those.
I would almost think that she'd be too calm, she'd be too rough for Terrence. You know what I mean? Like Terrence, like, the way Terrence plays all his roles, you think that's too much energy for him.
Yeah.
But like the lady from Acrimony, I love that lady. What's her name?
Taraji.
Yes, that's too much energy for Terrence Howard.
Aren't they were together in Empire, were they not?
Hey, God, I never watched Empire. How was that?
I've only watched one episode, but but yeah, Terrence for me is, contrary to popular belief, the man is actually versatile. Like if he really needs to bring it, he brings it, though. Because you can sometimes tell his characters apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I never think about him? I always think about that the black actor with the green eyes. He's always in like Tyler Perry movies as like the smooth guy. Like he was a chef in Jumping the Broom.
Oh, Michael Ealy.
Whatever happened to that nigga, dude?
He's still there, dog. You know, he's also one of the people that I was like, this guy looks like Chris Brown, and boom, Taken came out. I was like, you see, I could have been in casting, dog. But he's still around, dog. He pushes a lot of stuff, man. He's either in a series or in a movie.
Dog, I feel like maybe he needs to maybe it's because he's too much in maybe the Tyler Perry type grouping of movies. He needs to go more. I feel like I want to see him in something more mainstream. Like even Tyler Perry was in Gone Girl. If you know, do you understand what I'm saying? Like Terrence Howard is in this.
Yeah, no, I get you, but he's been, hey? Like Michael Ealy has been, dog. You remember he wasn't Think Like a Man?
Yeah, exactly. Think Like a Man, yes. But these are like Tyler Perry, traditional Black American movies.
And it's not a Tyler Perry film technically, but I do get what you mean. You're talking about the Morris Chestnuts of the world.
Yeah.
There's even a joke about it in Blackish where they make a list and then they don't include Will Smith. They're like, no, he's got the white dollar locked down.
Exactly. I think with his green eyes, he could have locked down the white dollar. I don't know if he pissed someone off, if maybe it's the Cat Tim's thing.
I think I don't know if he changed agencies or what, but at a point he was getting there because he was in The Good Wife, the series.
Ah, okay. At least that's something, I guess.
Yeah.
But can you imagine him in like a David Fincher film? Like if you showed up the killers.
I can see that man anywhere, dog. Because in Barbershop, the first Barbershop,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that side of him since then. Because in there he was hardcore.
Right?
Yeah.
Dog. Sometimes you always wonder, like, who's got the more power here? The agent? Is it the agent that's doing this?
Or is it the studio execs?
Yeah. Like, it doesn't make sense.
But sometimes the studio execs would say,
that's a beautiful man. They take one look at him and be like, nah, dog, you're in everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but sometimes they'd say we can get a cheaper actor who has his features.
Like Kevin Hart.
I feel like the original guy who looks like him is the guy that was in CSI with the afro.
Oh yes. Before they locked him down in the CSI, not NCIS.
I think it was CSI. It was CSI.
Okay, you're right.
And then after Michael Ealy, there's this guy now who's in Grey's Anatomy. He also has green eyes. What's his name again?
That guy, he had his chance, and I think
after he made that speech.
Yeah, that was him just putting his own career to sleep, dog. That was.
Yeah.
What do you call that? What do they call that in sports? An unforced error.
Yeah.
Dog. If this is how you want, if this is the direction you're taking, enjoy the Marvel's treatment.
Yeah, but I think he's getting a lot of money from Grey's Anatomy. I mean, he's one of the juggernauts in that show. So.
Oh no, man's got a safe thing.
Yeah.
He didn't go full Colin Kaepernick, where like they kicked him off the league and then he couldn't get back in, and he's still asking to come back in. He's still me, dog.
It's like once you're in like the soap opera industry.
Yeah.
I was watching an interview with John McCook, the guy who plays Eric Forrester in The Bold. Dude.
Oh yeah?
That guy's been playing Eric since like the 80s, dog.
Oh yes. Yes.
So in my head I'm thinking, once you got that role, and you're like, because he's like one of the central characters in that whole show, right? You know your job is secured until you die, dog.
He's the Rock of soap. Do you know what I mean? The Rock of soap operas.
Yeah, him and Ron Moss, they're definitely like the guys. Yeah.
Teeth, Heartthrobs, Sam, Sam and Dean, those guys in there. Yeah. It's the supernatural niggas. Like they can show up somewhere else and it's fine. Everyone will still love them.
Yes.
Now they got it locked down. But yeah, anyway, we went off on a cool tangent. I enjoyed that tangent.
Yeah.
That was a good tangent. But anyway, the scenes are jumping from one to the other. It's giving you a sense of the calm before the storm.
Right.
Like a normal TV series, I think this would take half an hour. But we're not even in 10 minutes yet.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. This would take half an hour in a normal TV show. We'd find out who they are.
I wonder if they actually cut out certain parts of that, because now that you're saying this, you're making me wonder if they actually just chopped it up a bit so that they can just get
it's possible,
the meat of it, and then
it's entirely possible. But to me, I think this writing is so tight, so tightly wound. There are things where I had to rewind a couple of times to be like, oh, do you know what I mean?
I get you.
This writing is tight, so if they did cut things, I'm sure that would have been a disaster for them.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? It's like Tarantino trying to cut his stuff.
Oh, or like the Coens.
Yeah.
The Coens, yes.
Where do you start?
Exactly. Like, this is such a tightly fit movie. There's so many. Yeah, anyway, we'll keep going. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like, how many times have we said this will be relevant later? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, the daughters decide they want to go to the Dover house to go look for a red emergency whistle, which, you remember, the father's survivalist speech becomes relevant to the character. Because, of course, the kid would be playing with a survivalist missile. Makes sense. It's plot relevant and character relevant. The kids go, and then they're told to go with the teenagers. And then we get our first piece of outside music when they leave, and we get a long zoom on the house, and then it cuts to them inside to Killer Dover, played by Hugh Jackman.
Right.
As he sees the teens watching TV, and he looks around and is like, "Hey, where are the kids?" Then they're like, And it turns out the kids didn't call the teenagers.
Yes.
So now they gotta go. Now they gotta go looking, and the rain starts. You can kind of hear the thunderclouds as they start to go looking.
That was pretty cool. I was actually wondering if that was not in the script. It just happened to be a rainy day, and then they just said, let's continue shooting.
Yeah. If you consider how long a shot takes, it had to be in the script.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, one shot is 3 hours.
Right.
So there's no way that's a coincidence.
Yeah.
Anyway, they go looking unless it's a Scorsese film. I'm pretty sure he doesn't take 3 hours in lighting. He's like, "Oh, that's a cool idea. Do it." But everyone else,
that's a good idea. Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta do the Scorsese voice. You gotta like soft, but so
yeah.
But anyway, they go looking. Yeah, they go looking. By the way, this whole setup, 9 minutes. Everything from the kickoff to the kids missing, 9 minutes in total.
Wow.
They're running in the house. There's no one there. They search everything. Now things get real when the guy remembers the RV. They go running to where the RV was. Killer goes to knock at the door where the RV was parked, but it's an empty house. Turns out the people there moved. Relevant. The panic is rising as a slow but sad music starts playing. The house is empty and it's for sale. Again, relevant. Knowing the danger, Kelly immediately calls the cops. Now, I love Denis Villeneuve because of his style of directing, known for his long, drawn-out shots with excellent cinematography, and just this long breaths, where like with the zoom in I mentioned earlier, it's just them staring at a house for like 5 seconds. And with this one as well, we just kind of staring. What are we staring at? Like the rain or whatever. No, we stare at we're in the rain and we stare at a restaurant, and then we cut in. We stare at a police thing. Get one of those. We get one of these.
Probably later that night, I'm assuming.
Yes, because it's nighttime now. Yes.
Yeah.
It's past. We see a dark police car outside a diner as an establishing shot. We then cut inside on a long rear zoom on a man eating, just a slow ass shot of us closer and closer to him. We see a gun on his side, so we know so we really get settled that this guy's a cop. He's flirting with the waiter when the bolo comes in that he's looking for an RV. 13 minutes in, we get a 3-second shot of a man in glasses inside an RV before we're back at the police car of Detective Loki, played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
The police have found the RV and are now waiting outside. Now this is interesting because normally in this one, you'll notice something about perspectives. Most of the time we'll follow like 1 or 2 perspectives, mainly 2 perspectives. You know what I mean? Every now and then we'll get
and villain.
Yes, exactly. Loki and Killer, yeah. And then every now and then we'll get a villain perspective. So yeah, this is one of now we get like bouncing perspectives between like Loki and Killer. I mean not Killer, man. Loki and
Mr.
Alex.
Alex, yeah.
And we get like these 2 perspectives as they get closer and closer. The tension.
You think Alex is a villain?
Well, no, I'm just saying. We don't know.
Yeah, ordinarily would be the main character and the villain. You're right.
Right now, we think they're the villain, yes.
Right. It's kind of like Heat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you focus on De Niro's character and you focus on Pacino's character. I don't want to lie. When I saw his introduction before knowing that he's a cop, I thought he was the villain. I thought he was the guy in the RV.
It is a tense, slow, and the music does not help.
They don't even show his face. So I'm thinking, because for the most part, like they was just showing his rear for a while, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, clearly he's the villain. He's wearing black.
No, I
But
hear you. In
it's
another movie, what would happen would be like that would be the bullet point action scene. Do you know what I mean?
would be
Like you
the
see the police car, then we zoom in on the villain, and then 1 second later you'd see a policeman come inside, then there'd be
yes,
a gunfight and that guy would die. The policeman would die. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Something like that would happen. So like I feel like that's the vibe you'd almost get because you see the police car first, and you cut inside on a guy with a gun on his waist,
yes,
wearing a uniform. So I could imagine something like that happening. So I understand what you're saying, man. I really do.
yeah. I think for me, what made me think twice is when he was speaking to the lady and because they were talking about like Chinese zodiac and all of that, or that she's a monkey, and and I think he mentioned something about her boss, and then she's like, "No, my boss is a chicken." So he looked at, sorry,
A rooster.
sorry, rooster. So he was looking for the definition of rooster. It was like, so he was speaking by himself, and it was sort of like a slight comedic moment. I was like, okay, he's definitely not a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the tattoos are kind of interesting.
Mm, definitely. And there's something I want to mention, and I'm sure you have made notes and notes. The twitching,
Yes.
which is unlike Jake Gyllenhaal, but the fact that he did that,
Character specific thing, yes.
man, that was amazing.
Specific to Loki, yes. It's very interesting. It's very unique to his character.
Definitely.
You have to remember, I think Jake Gyllenhaal, what he does is he finds something that'll make his character different. Like if you
Yes.
think about Nightcrawler, his character in Nightcrawler versus his character here, the twitching here, and then like this like fake stillness in Nightcrawler, where he's like a Barbie doll almost. You know what I mean? With like his fakeness, like I don't even know how to explain it.
And you see, his efforts don't feel forced.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes these mega actors that we know and love, when you see some of the performances, you're like, this is forced. I mean, when you look at Viola Davis in Michelle Obama, like she decided to like always keep her mouth open when she speaks, and it's just so cringy, dog.
Dog, I know stuff like that is just.
But I mean, I mean, I think she said it, or Rick Rubin said it, or someone said it that, look, you have to take risks.
Yeah.
If you believe in this thing and you believe it will work, just do. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least to try to do something different. You know what I mean?
And also that's why you should have chose your director. You know what I mean?
Yes, you're absolutely right. I was actually thinking about, is it The Spirit, that movie with Gabriel Macht, with Samuel L. Jackson and
Oh yeah.
Johnson.
Yes.
I haven't seen it, but the clips that I saw, their acting was atrocious, bro. Samuel L. and
It was hilarious. It
Scott.
was so bad. It was interesting.
And I was thinking, these are the same people that are in Avengers.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, it's clearly the problem is not the actresses
Yeah.
and the actor, it's
the director.
It's the director.
Because it's the director's job to make sure you don't look like an idiot. So you can be like, I'm gonna try this, and then me, Mr. Director, will then tell you if it's actually working out.
Unless if you're a Jim Carrey, which is acceptable.
Oh, well, they'll just let you go. Like I remember I saw one interview where Clint Eastwood was talking about Jim Carrey being in the Dirty Harry movies, right? And then he was like, Jim Carrey was like, I've got a couple ideas, and then Clint's like, let him go, and you know what I mean. And then he just let him go, and for 2 hours this nigga was like, and then they didn't use any of it, but they were like all impressed by it. But at the same time, none of it was useful.
Yeah.
Even in this one, right? It's actually funny because I actually read somewhere that Hugh Jackman was talking. He was saying, you know, the iconic toilet scene, the "Where Are They?" where he smashes the hammer. According to Hugh Jackman, right, he was like, I got my most angry that I'd ever been, my most emotional, right? And he like really said he knocked it out the park. And then Dennis Villeneuve was like, okay, now I need you to try being really angry this time.
Like, dog, that's the best thing to do. What do you mean? I just give you the best anger I have in my body, bro.
That could happen. That could happen. I know there was this one when I was directing still, when I still had money to direct. There was this one guy who was doing a scene, right? And he thought he was doing something really emotional. I was like, this nigga looks like he's having a great time because he's smiling. Like, nigga, you look like you're having a blast right now.
Like, see, some people have this. It's like with Tobey Maguire. He just has the smile, whether he loves it or he likes it or not. His mouth is just like this. And even when he was crying, I mean, look, he brought it. Don't get me wrong. When he was looking at in Spider-Man, when he was crying for Uncle Ben, when Uncle Ben was dying, I could still see the smile, even though he was crying his lungs out, dog. I was like, ish.
Hey, dog, you're making me think of what's his face, Maggie Gyllenhaal in Batman, dude. I was like, nigga, are you capable of enjoying yourself in anything? You
Right.
just look miserable in everything right now. Like, I hate this, whatever you're doing right now. Awful. Like, I hated her so much in the Batman. I hated her. She was the worst thing.
Maggie,
Yeah.
dude, she was so much better than Katie Holmes.
Dog, they were both. Let me put it like this. All Rachels were not good. Let me put it like that. In my opinion, all Rachels were not good. I was just tired.
Wow. Okay.
I did not like her, dude. I was just like, oh, God. Oh, she's back.
I just felt like, because I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, she has big shoes to fill. Because, I also grew up watching Katie Holmes and I grew up watching Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, maybe she's too aware of what audiences might think of her performance now that she's replaced Katie Holmes. I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, that's a tough one for her. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the best lady in Batman has got to be either Anne Hathaway or Talia al Ghul. What's her name again?
Marion Cotillard.
Except for her death. Mario Cotillard's death.
Yeah, no, the death.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, no.
For me, those two were irresistibly hot, and they came to it. I feel like Marion, for me, had a better. Personally, I think Marion had a. No, you know what? I think you're right. It's probably a tie.
Yeah.
Because and Heather convinced me, like I hated her guts at one point, but by the time, they were like having brunch and Alfred saw them, I fell in love with her again. I'm like, Selena, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, I agree with you actually. And also, this is gonna sound so mean, but I've never thought of Anne Hathaway as hot before Catwoman. I did not think she was hot in Devil Wears Prada. I did not think she was hot in pretty much anything, like the interview. I've seen clips, but in Catwoman, like I feel like she took up a whole other role, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you are probably the only human being on planet Earth that has said that.
Anne Hathaway go fire. Don't get me wrong, she's beautiful. Don't misunderstand. There's a difference in being beautiful and being hot. Do you know what I mean? Okay.
Still,
Just
like you're probably the only human being on planet Earth. But for me, it was Princess Diaries. Like I didn't even watch that movie. I was just watching clips. I'm like, this woman is gorgeous.
She was playing a kid. I'm gonna need you to calm down, sir.
No, I was like, I was like in high school at the time.
I know, I'm playing with you.
Yeah. And then I saw in Devil Wears Prada, and I think she had lost weight. I'm like,
Again, beautiful woman, do not misunderstand. But when you're like, I would like a poster of her on the wall. When she was like doing those kicks, I'm like, holy shit. First of all, you're kicking like that in leather. Well done for you.
Back in high school, I would have put her thing on my wall. I promise you. But I hear you.
Yeah. Where were we?
We were talking about women who act, because we got to Maggie Gyllenhaal. Oh, we're talking about Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
I think we're talking about his introduction as the cop.
Yes, his introduction, yes. And then
villain versus main character.
yes. Then it evolved into something else entirely.
Yeah. But anyway, so basically he gets the call, which kind of reminded me of Die Hard. Because he was around.
Yeah, he was.
And he got the call and he responded. And I feel like it just jumps straight to the point. They don't do this whole thing of trying to find the RV. No. They just go straight to the rendezvous point.
Yep. And I like the fact that there's a thing in writing, right, where it mustn't look like the character was standing perfectly still, and then when the plot needed them, then they started moving. You know what I mean? It's only a minute, it's less than a minute, I think, but it gives you a taste of, okay, this person had a life before the phone call came in, if you know what I mean. Same thing with Die Hard. What's his name again?
Mr. Van Jones. Van Jones. Are you talking about the actor?
I forgot the detective's name, but yes. Yeah. He was busy living his best life, and then the phone call came in. So you know what I mean? There's an element of
he was in the supermarket about to have Twinkies or buy Twinkies for his wife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
After being dissed by the customers, same thing here. There's a life before the whole thing kicks off. So I think it's necessary, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I also like the same thing when the main character is the one that is introduced to a world where everybody was just minding their own business, and he just happened to intervene and become like a huge thorn in everybody's flesh.
Oh yeah.
Of movies where you're like if you watch The Fifth Element, dog, Bruce Willis just happened to be some dude in a very complicated story.
Everyone's problem, yes.
Exactly, dog.
It's fantastic. I love it. Or like so you could almost say, like, you know, when you put dye in water, it'll drop and then everything changes, kind of thing.
Yes.
I feel like Harry Potter is kind of like that, where everyone's living in their own world, and then he just showed up and I was like, oh shit, Harry's here. You know, it's like that vibe of, like the way everyone kind of stops what they're doing. Kind of first of all shows that everyone was doing something in the beginning.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Yeah. I love that kind of stuff. I think that's great storytelling.
Yeah. Same thing with Luke Skywalker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was just Tatooine minding his business. Then after he joined Obi-Wan and met Han Solo, everything changed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to the thing. Yeah, he goes to the location and we get this beautiful tension of just, I love, like, oh dog, Roger Deakins is crazy. Like, because if you look at the scene, it's almost borderline black and white. Because like the shadowing, right? Everyone is outlined, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Everyone is an outline, not even their proper faces. You don't even get to see everyone properly.
Yeah.
Until eventually when the guy crashes the car, tries to get out, everyone, whoa, guns out. You don't even see everyone's full faces.
Yeah.
It's so well silhouetted. And then the car pulls back and then rushes forwards again. Crashes.
It's raining cats and dogs. Like, for me, man, it painted the perfect picture. I felt like I was there. I felt like I was with the detective outside on a rainy night, and he's trying to find this guy, and he hopes the kids are in there. I hope the kids are in there.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was amazing to see. I don't want to lie.
Captivating. And then he likes to focus on dead things. Have you noticed? Like he won't focus on a face. Denis Villeneuve in his shots. Like he won't focus on a face. He'll focus on like a house.
Yes.
He'll focus on someone's back maybe, but he won't focus on like a face too long. Right. So like, how much time do we spend staring at that branch when it crashes into the car, right? Dude, we spend like 10 seconds on that branch because it just builds tension. Right. It's difficult to even explain.
I actually thought that the kids were in the woods by that time. Because he's also asking him, yo, what did you do with the kids? Are they in the woods?
Oh, dog, Loki doesn't play, eh? Like this man, it cuts from him straight. Like, show me your hands to this man shoving him like this against him. Are they in there? Are they in there? Dog. No one's like, whoa, calm down, buddy. No, are they in the forest? Ah, dude, I love that. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah.
Great tension. Anyway, 16 minutes in, we cut to the interrogation room with Loki. With us looking Loki straight in his face, and we get these stunning close-ups of the RV again with the whole dead shot thing. We're now looking at an empty RV with like the forensics crew going over it. We get a close-up on the branch again. That's still dripping water. Meanwhile,
he pays attention to detail because it's like, is there not even any cotton or something in there?
Yeah. Exactly. And then then we get while Loki's questioning Alex Jones. It's tense, but then you quickly get to see that Alex is clearly on some kind of spectrum, so you kind of realize this is kind of going wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
As the interrogation happens, it pulls us to the aunt's house. The aunt Holly, played by Melissa Leo, who played the mother from The Fighter, of course. We're inside Holly's house, as in a very forward-moving transition. This is all about flow and exposition. We quickly and effectively get the pieces we need. While blowing through the whole story, there's stuff we miss, like Holly's husband disappearing 5 years ago. Then it cuts to the interview of the mother, which is nice because there goes Alex in the mother. Alex in the mother. Okay, the 1, 2. So subliminally, there's a connection there. You know what I mean? We don't, as viewers.
I mean, you're still trying to figure stuff out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're still trying to figure out who was in the RV. Is it this guy?
Yeah. Exactly. So now, they go through the whole backstory. This is what I mean by tight writing, because they don't even give us like an extra clue that the husband disappeared 5 years. You just get that piece of dialogue. Husband disappeared 5 years ago. They used to be a religious family.
Yes.
And then their son died, and then they stopped being religious, which is relevant. But yeah, now we're back at the RV 20 minutes in. So now we're 20 minutes in. We're back at the RV. We find out that it's clean. So then the whole community starts checking the woods. Now they're gonna go check the aunt's house as well. Another cool directing lesson is the use of empty space in a frame. Again, they keep the bird's eye view. What's a drone shot of them like searching? Stuff is beautiful. Loki goes to 21 minutes in. Loki goes to visit the Birch family first. We open on Mrs. Birch, Nancy Birch, played by Viola Davis, and she has this 1,000-yard stare. She's just like staring like this, dude. And she won't even look at Loki as she gives more photos.
Yes.
Spend more time on Loki's car.
I just said something like, use this photo instead because you can see her a bit clearer or whatever.
Yeah. So in actual fact, we spend more time. It's kind of funny, but we spend more time looking at Loki's car than we do actually looking at them talk. It's a very interesting directing technique that he's using here.
And his car?
Yeah. If you measure, it's like 5 seconds, like 20 seconds of them talking, but the zoom in on Loki's car was longer, by like 20. Yeah. So it's just interesting. Then 22 minutes in, we switch to the Dover family. We see Keller washing his face, and then we see him noticing that little girl's toothbrush, and we get like a few seconds on the toothbrush as well, and you just know what that means. Like that reflects the emptiness in their hearts better than anything, dude.
Yes.
That toothbrush just chilling there, that was painful, man.
Yeah, it was a trigger probably even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get this cool J&L cut of Mrs. Dover, Grace Dover, played by Marcia Bello. As we find out that, okay, they did lie detector tests, which they passed. Mrs. Dover is in denial about the whole thing. She just literally cannot believe it. We get interesting exposition about Loki, that he has a 100% success rate. Keller comes in, and he's talking about the whistle again. The whistle comes back into play. Keller is 100% focused on Alex Jones. He is not even like entertaining Loki on this. Yeah. Loki's trying to help to cool things down, but when he says they can't use a lie detector on Alex, Keller gets pissed off because Alex is on the spectrum, so he can't fail a lie detector test if he doesn't understand the questions, which I think is pretty deep.
It's like, because I was wondering when I heard that, do some criminals do this? Do they convince themselves that they're not educated or whatever, and are able to calm themselves down because of that, and they can pass these tests? I don't know, but it made me think. Because I thought there's no way that guy is not, like, there's no way this guy has a brain of a 10 or 11-year-old. He's way smarter than that.
And then things like, how is he driving? And it's just crazy stuff.
Which was a good question.
Yeah.
To ask.
That was a good one. But Loki I almost feel like he's almost too dismissive as he tries to appease Keller by keeping Alex in custody. but the chief, Captain Richard O'Malley, played by Wayne Duvall, who played the KKK politician in Oh Brother, How Art Thou?
Ah, I see what you did there. I see the connection.
Yep. Just a coincidence, but I thought that was an interesting coincidence. But the chief is like, no, we're letting him out.
Yeah, but the relationship he has with the captain is
It's wild, right?
Yo, it's like
Dog.
brothers or something. I don't know.
Dog, he's like, fuck you. No, fuck you.
Yeah.
Dog. I was like, hey.
I'm not gonna give you an extra day. It's like, dude, please. The dad is a bit distraught. It's like, nah, screw you. I'm not doing that.
Dog, and it's so funny because I'm like, this nigga has 100% success rate. Maybe listen to him.
He's meeting your quota every single month.
Dog, so why are you acting like this? Give him some leeway.
Hey, dude.
But yeah, anyway, Loki, he dismisses Loki's concerns about Keller, and they question Loki's progress, giving exposition about Loki's next move. Now we get this whole like mini montage where he follows up on former sex offenders, interrogating all of them before the scene finally stops on the church.
Yes.
Of course, it's a church. The pastor is on the ground. When he looks in the window, he sees the pastor's on the ground, but it turns out he's just asleep. We also see an empty whiskey bottle and even more whiskey bottles. Yeah. He checks the house. We get a close-up of a strangely placed fridge. Behind the fridge is a door with a straight drop. It's a basement with no stairs. And
that was scary.
Dude, that was a very scary moment right there. That whole scene right there. Because you don't know what you're expecting. Oh, so well done. So well done. Turns out there's an aged dead body inside the church with a symbol on his neck. Cool. We jump right into the priest being threatened the same way the other guy was. Just this man, Loki's got a style.
Yeah.
Turns out the dead guy is a pedophile too, and he's killed up to his he was bragging about killing 16 kids. Dude, that was deep. We jump cut to the search getting even wider as they scour the rivers. You can see the search is still going on.
Yes.
We kind of get this progression of time kind of thing. Like time matters in this storyline.
Yes.
We see Keller getting a phone call. He finds out about this man, Alex getting let go. We see Alex filling in the release form with the big letters and like the dog. And there's just a bunch of reporters waiting for them. And then Keller shows up and is just like, excuse me, pa, 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 pa. And then just, dog.
Yeah.
Do smashes thingamajig. Then Alex says they didn't cry until I left them. And then Keller loses his mind. Keller tries to explain what that man just said, but Loki makes things worse by doubting him. Oh, dog, and this part you're on Keller's side, you're like, oh, you bastards. Oh, dude, it's so great. We're now 36 minutes in, by the way. All this stuff has happened. Only half an hour in a 2.5 hour movie. The conversation here, when you've watched the movie, okay, now we cut to Alex and Holly, right? Having where Loki's talking to them, right? Alex and Holly.
Yeah, the wife.
The Aunt Holly.
The aunt.
Mother. Let's put it the mother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The wife. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, the wife. You're right. Aunt Holly. The conversation here. When you've watched a movie before, this conversation is heartbreaking. When you understand what's happening, do you know what I mean?
What were they talking about again?
Where they're like, he's just been through a lot. This little guy over here, and like Alex is just keeping quiet. And it's like, do you want to stay with your mother? And it's like,
oh yes. And
like he's just having this thing with where it's like, oh no, don't leave him with his mother. Get him out of there. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what you're thinking the whole time this conversation's happening. And it's like, can I speak to Alex alone? And it's like, dog, and it's just, yeah. It was deep.
Oh, it was. It just seems like there's a lot of. You remember we once spoke about show Don't Tell? Yeah. There was a lot of that in this film. There was a lot of show Don't Tell because some of these things you make up the meanings in your head and you're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong at all. Which is lovely. And this movie tried to fill up every gap where if you make assumptions, those assumptions aren't exactly wrong. But it's so nice. Anyway, we follow Loki talking to Keller.
Keller is not listening, and Keller does not believe anything Loki is saying. 38 minutes in, and this is probably one of the deepest scenes in the whole movie. Grace Dover breaks down, and she lashes out at Keller, hitting him hard in his core beliefs. Where he's like, "You made me feel safe. You're supposed to be doing something," and she blames him, dog.
Right.
And that's what sets off. I feel like that's almost the inciting incident. Like, I feel like that's what sets everything off. You know what I mean? Because now, because now he becomes determined to do something. And when he starts the car, there's a sermon in the background about a man being in sin and transgression, and by being born in sin, he is born in trouble. That's what the sermon is saying.
Yes, I've heard that. Oh yeah, that's when he was listening to that bit of information, right? Just before his,
before he kidnaps him, yeah. When he gets in the car and goes to go look at Alex, yes. And that's, it's relevant. Anyway, he goes straight to the house, staking it out into the night. When Alex goes to take the dog for a walk, Keller watches him abuse a dog, and then he sings a song that the kids are singing when they're all together, and that settles things for Keller. That this is going down, and it's so unfair because Keller hears everything. Everyone else hears nothing. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Keller is the one who hears they didn't cry until I left them. Keller's the one who hears him singing the song. Keller's the one who sees him abusing the dog. Keller's the one who hears this man and not Alex.
It's as if he was supposed to be a cop but chose to do something else.
Dog. It's unfair. Like in another movie, you might think it's in his head or something. But anyway, 43 minutes in, it's a new day. Keller pulls up Franklin, but Franklin has no idea where they're going with a change of clothes. Thought they went to an old house that he used to live in. He then opens a door, and there Alex is. Franklin freaks, but Keller shuts that shit down. And then we slow down on emptiness as into a flow of time, a match cut, because we flow out of the house, then we flow into the next house, into a new shot.
Right.
Into Franklin with a J&L cut. We're moving at the house that the RV was parked at. That for sale house.
Yes.
While we're looking at that house, we're also following the body of the priest, doing examination on it. It turns out the house is tied to a missing kid. Coincidence? This is shown really quickly. Almost impossible to... this is almost impossible to catch the first time you're watching it. You know what I mean? Like, some of this stuff.
Yeah. I plan to actually watch it again because knowing what I know now, I'm sure I'm going to pick up some stuff.
Dog, yes. Yeah. Like the house belonging to a missing person. I think I missed that the first time I ever watched this movie. We're in the house of the missing boy, of that empty house that the RV was parked outside of. Like, the idea that the RV was parked outside there for a reason that wasn't tied to picking up the girls in the first place.
That wasn't tied up with what?
With picking up the girls. Like, he wasn't stalking the girls.
Yeah.
Girls, it was a coincidence that he took advantage of.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Yeah. The mother is, we meet the mother. She's stuck watching it. Every morning she watches a video of a missing kid.
Hey, dog, without fail. And I think she was complaining about the tape.
Yeah, it's wearing out, yeah. 26-year differences in cases. But she still has no doubt in her mind that there's a connection. The mother is Mrs. Mayland, played by Sandra Ellis Lafferty from the bioflick Walk the Line. I think that's the biggest thing she did. Anyway,
Walk the Line, that sounds familiar.
The one with, if not Joaquin Phoenix, the one where he plays Johnny Cash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The kid went missing in the same spot where the RV disappeared. Cool. We're back with the priest, and he's been silent the whole time, but now he's finally giving some specifics on what happened. He said,
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal definitely woke him up.
Yeah. I would say this is a very non-traditional storytelling, by the way. Like, it's following a very straight line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not following the normal hero's journey. But I would say, in terms of this, I would say the nearest thing to a fun and game section would be this section, because it's detective stuff. Now we're getting detective, we're flowing. We're getting forwards movement, you know what I mean?
It kind of feels like a a sequel to a movie that didn't come out yet. If that makes sense. Because it sounds like you already know these people, they're already established.
Yeah.
The main character is still Jake Gyllenhaal, but it's just a different set of events.
Oh
This
yeah.
sequel. Yeah.
I feel like we got to know everyone very quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to know everyone very quick, and now we're comfortable with them. Which is, I think, what is it? Which is a mistake that Rebel Moon made, because we didn't get to know those people, and we had a lot more time in this movie.
Yeah. Yes. That's
It's
true.
yeah. Anyway, it's harsh to call it fun and games, but I guess you could almost call it the everything is going as planned section, or the everything is working out phase. You know what I mean? Like every time you look for something, something happens. You look for something, something happens. Nothing's really blocking him, if you know what I mean. Anyway, it's a great place in the storyline to dump important threads and clues. And if done intelligently, these will prove to be very important. The priest talks about the stranger's confession and how he was at war with God. This is considered irrelevant to the cops, but we all know how relevant this is.
Well, later on we do, but at that time,
Yeah, you don't know that, yes.
we didn't.
It's like almost a throwaway line. But what is relevant to the cops is the kid was taken in daylight. All the kids that the priest took, the guy that was killed by the priest took were taken in daylight. He would occasionally take more than one kid at a time, and the man in question had a family. So these are all relevant. And I can't even say if you were paying attention. There's no way in your brain you go, didn't Holly say something about having a family? Or you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no way, but at the same time, it's awesome.
No, it is. Because the more you keep hearing these stories, the more you wonder who the actual kidnapper is.
Yeah.
Because at a point I was like, maybe it's the priest. And then eventually, because I felt like the priest was probably lying. And he wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get there.
Brilliant. Loki is dismissive of all of it, so he misses all of it. We are finally back at the Alex and Keller story arc. We took a break from it. We took like a 20-minute break from it. Alex is being pounded. Keller's fists are wrapped up. Alex is not reacting at all. He's just, as he's blasting in the face, like just whoosh. And then so it's wild. Franklin and Keller are tired. We get the iconic hammer scene, which is honestly just amazing.
Hey, it is, dog. Like at a point I wanted to close my eyes because I was like, is he really gonna break his hand?
Dog.
Hey, dog.
I watched a reaction channel, and one person like actually had to close their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100%. And I think this scene is great from all sides because you get Franklin's fear, you get Alex's blank confusion, you get Keller's desperate fury. Each person is telling a story at every frame, splitting you in every direction.
Yeah.
At the same time, you heard what Keller heard, so you almost feel it has to be done. You're almost on his side. You don't have a doubt because you heard what Alex said.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very clever. You feel his anger, his confusion, his desperation. Eventually, Keller leaves. Alex is still out of it, and we just kind of focus on Franklin, who is way over his head. He's just, is just out here, like just 1,000-yard stare as well. We then jump to Franklin later, with the same dead stare that Nancy had in the earlier scene. There's a voiceover where the news reporter says it's been 4 days. We see a nighttime vigil for the family outside where the kids were last seen. Franklin meets his family. Now we get this Snyder-type shallow depth of field shot, where everyone in the background is blurred out, representing how out of his depth he is in the situation.
Right.
As the shallow depth of field shot spins, and it creates this dizzying effect. So you kind of feel, and he gets nauseous. Franklin gets nauseous, so you kind of feel his dizziness as this is happening. He starts to act sick, and he drops down, unable to hold himself. Staying in the same shadow depth of field, we see Loki watching everyone as he becomes the focus of the shot. The camera cuts to a close-up of candles. The shadow depth of field gains new meaning as it shows everything we need to know. he focuses on a candle, on a specific candle placement, and he comes to investigate. I had to watch the scene so many times to see what he was looking at. See a guy placing a teddy bear. There's a perfect shot of a Jesus candle, which is obviously not a coincidence. Like the shot of Jesus, like there's a perfect shot of Jesus as this man's adjusting a teddy bear.
Right.
Immediately, Loki notices something and goes up to investigate. We see someone petting a teddy bear and he's placing them properly. He tries to act cool when Loki focuses on him, and this man makes his exit. This was such a cool scene. Loki follows. We get this kind of like Assassin's Creed style crowd movement scene. Where like squeezing through the crowd, but then he goes to the other side and there's no one there. We hear heavy steps, but we don't see anyone. And then one of the searchlight lamps goes off, and you just see this guy running, dude. Dude, I was like, oof, what a shot. Anyway, Loki gives chase, relying on the barking of a dog to follow this guy. And we are not, again, like in earlier, we got like visuals on both sides. We got like you got Alex's side and you got Loki's side. You know that when they're in the RV, not this time. It is just Loki. We are just following Loki and we're listening to this dog bark. So we just know this guy is here.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I actually
thought it was a black guy. That sounds a bit racist, but
yeah, what profile did he fool?
Because it was dark. It was a bit dark. So I thought when I saw his face, I thought I was seeing a black guy. Even when they showed us the police sketch, I was like, is this a black oak?
No, I hear you, man. I understand what you mean, dude. It is it's so dark. It's so tense. It's just so, yeah. Whew. Anyway, we see Franklin is watching the news. It's the next day about how there's a new person of interest. Because remember, Franklin has been doubting. What if it's not him? What if it's not him? So now they're like, there's a new person of interest. And that kind of messes with Franklin's head. No words are said. We just know that Franklin is worried, traumatized, dazed, confused. New suspect shows up. And we kind of get the idea that, what if they're wrong kind of thing, right? And then we get Keller hooting. No time is wasted as we drive right to the house. We know that Keller has heard. So when Franklin tries to show his doubts about the whole situation, Keller only doubles down. He only doubles down. Again, we heard what Keller heard. We want to double down too. But Keller's also always believed there was an accomplice. It wasn't just one guy. He's always believed that there's someone else as well.
Yeah, because he's still convinced that.
Yeah.
What's Dano's character again? Is it Alex?
Say it again. Who's?
Dano's character.
Yeah, Alex Jones.
He's convinced that Alex
is the one.
Definitely the kidnapper. And he's instead of actually just considering that it might not be Alex at all, he's like, no, then he's gotta have worked with someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Loki shows up with a dog collar. 1 hour in. We're 1 hour in. It turns out Alex Jones's dog was hit by a car. They went for a walk 2 days ago and never came home. Now there's a whole new dimension now because obviously Loki's good at his job and now he might be hunted now. Miley, the captain and Loki have it out again.
Yeah, because the captain is like, dude, what the hell? And he's like, but you said you're going to put surveillance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, nigga, there's a budget. And he's like, why did you tell me? Tell me.
Right. But you also see that the things that he's been telling the captain about, they usually come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also you wonder if he'd maybe heard this man singing that song, he wouldn't have known, I guess. But if he'd maybe seen the dog getting abused, then maybe things would be different right now with Loki. Who knows? But yeah, so Loki's stuck. So he goes over the Alex footage again and again, looking for something he missed. Classic detective trope. This is broken up by a phone call. As a citizen says, I recognize that picture. And we're back at the house with Keller and Franklin. Franklin is leaving early, and we get more of a timeline. We're on day 5.
Right.
Franklin is confronted by Grace, and he just snitches, dog. He just breaks like glass, spills the beans, and the next shot is Nancy going, "What the hell are you doing?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
And I think his response was, have you told anybody else?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
He looks at Franklin, he's like, have you told anyone else? Yeah. That was deep. But again, quiet storytelling. It's like when we talked about Nancy, what's her name?
Nancy Myers?
Yeah, we talked about her in The Holiday with the whole, you don't have to explain yourself. The shots do everything for you.
Yes.
Anyway, Nancy is now a part of everything now. And she goes to see Alex. Remember, Nancy is a vet. So we got a line from dialogue there. So she technically has some doctor skills. So maybe you think, okay, maybe something's gonna happen. And then you see he's covered up. She takes off the mask, and he is just brutalized.
Yeah, dude.
And then what caught me by surprise is he asked about the girl. She asked about her little girl. Pulls out a photo, and it's amazing how small Viola's performance is. How small it is, but how deep it is. You only see her like 4 times max.
Yeah.
But each one is fantastic, dude. Like, this was amazing. This whole thing where like she's not even like, maybe if no. She's like, come on, this is what she looks like. I'll do anything. Just tell me.
Yeah.
And then Alex freaks out and tries to escape and have to take him down and tie him up all over again. And then he has a whole new idea now. Keller has a whole new idea as he fetches out his tools. Nancy is in a whole other universe of long stairs when there's a knock. Keller approaches and they're back inside the building. Keller, the handyman, has built a massive contraption to torture this man, dude.
Hey, dude.
Dog.
He was ready.
Dog. Just some Jigsaw type shit. I think Franklin is, as much as Keller is Jigsaw.
But here's the thing, like...
Yeah?
I mean, with all the time he was spending torturing this guy, he could have just gone out to do more research about where his child is. But...
You heard that it wouldn't feel like doing something. That's a problem. It wouldn't feel like doing something.
Yeah, because he's convinced that Alex actually kidnapped.
Yeah. And the wife messed him up. The wife, that whole, you are supposed to do something. This is your job as a man type shit. You know what I mean?
Which is messed up, eh?
So messed up.
Going back to that scene, I just want to add that. You remember when I was saying that it's a lot of show and not tell?
Yeah.
When he was asking about her medication, how much she should take, I thought those were like antidepressants or something. I don't know, but it seems like it.
Yeah, they're supposed to be antidepressants. I would assume so, even though she never gets out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keller Franklin, being the more bleeding heart liberal type, just can't take it anymore. He just can't. Nancy pulls him away, so now they won't help, but they won't stop him. 1 hour, 11 minutes in, the guy from before, the creepy guy, has broken into the house. And you see the teen in the bathroom, and this is a freaky scene where like the teenage girl's in the bathroom. You're like, what's about to happen, dude? Franklin and Nancy bail. Francie and Nancy bail. Yeah, mentioned that. And then they enter the house, right? They enter the house with this guy still in there. There's no music at all. There's a whole new type of tension with this red herring of their daughter popping out the bathroom. They're like, where's my daughter? And then it turns out, nah, she's in there, dude. And then she's like mad at them. That was wild.
But here's why didn't she answer when they called her? Because they called her like a couple of times.
Dog.
She just kept quiet, dog.
Out there with an attitude. Like, that's what you get for like not...
Yeah, didn't she say like, F you guys?
Yeah. She had like a whole attitude. Like, I'm not answering you guys because... That was the reason she didn't answer, because she was mad at them because they just vanished. Which is sad but true. I get it. I mean...
I get it as well, but at the same time I feel like, dude, now it's not the right time for you to be getting upset.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, or not.
Exactly. Like, I get it. Because, like, yes, them leaving without telling her where they were going, them just disappearing as well is bullshit.
Yeah.
But her acting like that as well is also bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody's wrong in that scenario.
Yeah. Anyway, this creepy guy runs out of the house, goes to the next house.
Yeah.
Grace hears something and assumes that Anna is back because she is, I'm assuming, loopy for Fruity Loops, dog. She is just out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it turns out there was someone there, but it wasn't Anna. She doesn't know who it is. We cut to Loki inside the house with her Grace explaining what happened. But Loki, of course, just doesn't believe it. Like, ironically, she has to be like, "Nigga, are you going to write anything down? Don't take it. How about some notes?"
Yeah.
And he actually does. Loki, but then, just when you think the scene maybe is going to be useless, Loki finds out about Kella being missing at night.
Yes.
And he immediately puts one and one together. And now there's a stakeout of Loki. Of Kella, which is just, yeah. We're at the halfway point when Loki nearly catches Kella in the act, and a random truck screws up the stakeout. We're sitting in the tension as Kella pretends to buy alcohol and confronts Loki. But Loki confronts him back.
Yeah, because it's like you were working on the opposite direction. Like,
yeah, where were you going then?
Where are you going?
Yeah, where are we going? What's here? Ah, dog. But then he's just like starts beating up on the thing. He's like, "You're here instead of looking for my daughter."
Yes.
Dog.
Which was a good way of hiding his true intentions.
Definitely. But it turns out there's an element of truth to it, of course.
Yes.
But just, oh my God, that whole scene. But yeah, Killer keeps walking and passes out at home after finishing the whole bottle. He dreams of the red whistle. The third time it comes up. And we get a big fat close-up.
I wonder what the symbolism of that is, though, hey?
That's actually a good question. Especially considering how religious the symbolism is so far.
Yes.
You almost wonder, like, what religious element is there? What's this mean? Like, that's actually a good question. Anyway, we get the ticking clock again because as they were talking, they were saying it's day 6. And after a week, no one is ever found alive. Like, it's rare for people to be found alive after 6 days.
It's true. How long does it normally take before you call the cops? Isn't it like 48 hours or?
It's a lie. Turns out that's a myth. If someone's missing and you know they're missing, you can actually just call the cops immediately.
Oh, okay.
Turns out that's a lie that movies made.
Because was it Dover?
Yeah.
He called immediately. Like, he didn't play around.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
tried to. Because like that whole what's the other one? Like, you have a right to a phone call, or they have to read you your Miranda rights, otherwise they can't arrest you. Nah, half of that stuff is lies. It's just movie nonsense.
Yeah.
They can read you your rights at the police station after they've arrested you. It's fine.
You're right. I think I saw a video that talks about like this movie myths that are not true. Like the aeroplane thing, like where if the window breaks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like everyone gets sucked out from the airplane.
Yeah, it's like, no, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Did you not see that other thing that came out recently? Some American airline where the door fell off.
The dog.
The door fell off.
Oh, flip. Like
the whole door ripped out while they were in the air. And it just kept flying.
Wait, what?
Airplane, door,
What? It kept flying until it reached its destination.
Yeah. Or either that or they stopped at the nearest airport. But yes.
Dude, what the hell? Imagine like you're seeing the clouds, dog.
Yeah, you're seeing the clouds right now. I look outside, there's a cloud, there's rain coming in. That's wild.
That's wild, because one mistake, you're gone, dog.
Yeah. Turns out, yeah, stuff like that is a lie. Yeah, I find that shit fascinating. But anyway, Loki, having missed out on his chance to catch Killer, is now doing research on Killer now. Turns out Killer's dad, who Killer was really proud of, was a prison guard, which was mentioned by the captain a while before.
Yes.
We discovered that the father actually shot himself.
Yes.
Which is kind of deep, because like this man had so much pride for killed himself. This man was supposed to always be ready, that taught him all these things, killed himself. Is super deep. Killer finally makes his way into the house where he starts this man starts cooking Alex with the hot water. I mean, that visual, dude, where like Alex is screaming and then you just see this little wisp of like steam coming out that hole.
Yes.
That was intense.
That was messed up, dog. Because I was actually asking myself, does he feed him? Does he go to the bathroom? Like, how does it work?
Hey, dog, it's only been 5-6 days, so I would assume he maybe doesn't feed him. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't feed him. He's tied to the tap, so he can maybe get access to water.
Yes.
But other stuff, probably not. Keller is broken down by all of this, like by how difficult all of this is. And when finally Alex gives him something. He confesses that he's not actually Alex. But Keller has no idea what that means.
Yeah.
And then broken down at his lowest point, kind of like Oh Brother, How Art Thou? I think that's why I actually put these two movies together. Because of how the religious connotations. Anyway, at his lowest point, Keller breaks down and drops to his knees to pray. And that's when we kind of cut to Loki. There's actually a cool video that shows a connection to whenever time Keller prays, Loki actually shows up in the shots a little bit later. And the funny part is that Loki, of course, the name Loki is from the god of...
Yes, mischief.
Exactly.
I was actually thinking about that. That's why I was saying that I was a bit skeptical, thinking whether this guy is a villain or not. Like the name in itself.
It's wild, I know.
Yeah.
But like, and it just goes to show, man. Like, it's a lot going on. Anyway, so Loki appears now. Turns out he knows about the house and he breaks in because that's what Loki does. He breaks into every house he goes to. There he finds Alex pretending to be passed out on the floor. Loki is being walked around the house when he stops at the place Keller least wanted him to see, dog. He stops there. He's about to go in when his phone rings. The creep showed up.
That saved him, hey?
Dog.
That saved
him. Walking. And then Loki turned, and then you see like this focus on Keller's face. And then the phone rang and just, dog, beautiful shot.
I think it was someone saying that they saw him.
The girl at the toy store. The girl at the toy store.
Oh, it was the toy store, yeah.
Clothing store, sorry, yes.
The clothing store, yes.
So Loki takes off, because now there's a license plate. Loki shows up at the creep's house, Bob Taylor, played by David Gyllenhaal, from Dark Knight and Suicide Squad. We get a sense of him going from room to... first of all, that whole scene by the doorway. He's like, hey, why'd you run for me, buddy? Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Why did you run?
Where he's like, hey, how you doing, buddy? You know, he's like, hi, how you doing? Like, he's all chilled. So the other guy at the door is like, but it's like, why'd you run for me?
Yeah.
And then it's like, why you? I see you like to buy clothes at the children's store. And I was like, I just bought the wrong clothes. And like, oh, really? And then like, it tries to close the door, and then and they fucking smack him against it, like whoever
that just didn't make sense. Like, you didn't see the sides. What do you mean? Like,
it was nonsense.
Yeah, no, it was.
But the way they smack him against the wall, credit to the sound designer. Like, that felt
real.
That felt so real. Smacks against the wall, puts him on the ground, and then we get this tense search with him going from room to room until he finds just a bunch of cases with breathing holes, dog. And we think the girls are in there. Until we get to see that they're filled with kids' clothes and snakes.
Hey, dude.
There are no kids, but we see just snakes and mazes, which becomes very relevant at the end. 1 hour, 37 minutes, we're at the police station. We see the Birch family has fallen apart. Then we find out why, because we first see them crying. We don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then Dover comes in, Killer Dover comes in, and we see this, this thick thing of like pictures. And we go through each picture, and then they see the sock. Yo, dude.
Bloody sock.
Dog. And then Keller blames Loki, dude. It's like, if you hadn't spent so much time looking at me, you could have found them. This is your fault.
Yeah.
Dude. Everything has fallen apart. The kids are dead. Their clothes are covered in blood. We're in the Dover house. Grace is out. Ralph and Keller are in Anna's room, watching as the news van start to set up. Keller is in denial. he's going to double down. Rolf confronts his father, but he's shoved away, knocking over a door. Yeah. We are looking at Bob in the interrogation room. We're watching Bob make mazes. There's blood in his hands, but he's smiling and it looks like he's living his best life, dog.
Yeah.
Which pisses Loki off, dude. Like, he just can't take it. And then the music starts to rise as Loki starts beating Bob, dude. And then the cops start to try and pull him off of Bob, but then Bob manages to snatch a cop's gun, and yeah, he kills himself.
Yeah, that was so unexpected, eh?
Dude. And then when you understand the context, it's even sadder, dude.
The context, what was the context again?
Bob is one of the kids that...
Oh, yes, you're right.
So Bob is as much a victim as everyone else.
Ish.
Keller is praying again, and again we cut to Loki as he's given the puzzle. And then we're back to Keller, who's given up when Alex says they're in the maze. Now we start to have clues about that, but no one else. But again, Keller doesn't know what that means. But we as the audience know that Bob and Alex are connected as they both start talking about a maze at the same time. Keller shows up at Holly's house. There's a conversation about being devout.
Was this the first time or was this the second time?
This is the first time.
Okay.
Keller and Holly meeting is the first time. Conversation about being devout. Holly and her husband were, we mentioned before about the son dying to cancer and they lost their sense of religion. Keller...
See, this is when I started questioning what this woman is saying because it felt like a different story. It kind of reminded me of the Joker when it's like, do you know how I got these scars? And what comes after that question is a different story. I'm like,
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
And then Keller mentions the maze, and we get an idea that Keller knows what's happening. He has a clue. Then
I'm saying he could have easily been a cop. Like, done that seriously, taking that seriously.
And considering his level of aggression, of Loki's aggression, they both have been cops. They're both aggressive as fuck. We get talk of snakes, but we can't linger on it before he finds out about Bob's suicide. Now we're with Loki, 1 hour 52 minutes in now. We're with Loki as the Captain tries helping when he leaves. No, the Captain blames Loki for everything basically. And then, he tries to soothe him. Like, shit happens, bro. We all lose. You can't have a 100% record kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Loki
just loses his shit and he smashes that desk, dude. Oof. I haven't seen a keyboard get beaten that hard since Wanted. Remember Wanted?
I remember Wanted.
Yeah, just Chris Pratt. Fat Chris Pratt. I don't know if you remember Fat Chris Pratt.
I remember because he was his best friend. I think they were roommates, and he showed his girlfriend or something.
Not his girlfriend, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, when he does, his files open and he sees the dead body's photos where the maze pediment is. The dead body and Bob are connected. We're back at Bob's house. We find out the blood on the clothes are pig's blood. The bodies on the ground were toys. We get another connection of clues as he goes over the notes he wrote, and we're back at the Dover house. And then he finds the sock. Yeah?
Gyllenhaal was called by someone else.
Yeah, he was called by the forensic guy.
Yeah, the forensic guy. And he's the one that's basically breaking it down. Yeah.
Yes. They kind of have a discussion, yes. And then we find out that, yes, the other sock was still there. That's where, ironically, the notebook comes in. When he looks at the notes, and he puts it together, and then he sees the sock, and then he realizes, oh no, this Bob was a red herring.
Yeah.
It was a distraction. Grace gets a phone call, and she finally a phone call that's strong enough to get her out of bed. Keller shows up, and it turns out they found Joy, but not Anna. They rush over, but Joy has been drugged, and she can't react. They try asking her questions, but nothing happens for a moment before she opens up her eyes and see her in the basement before being chased. The girl says Keller was there. By the way, I just want to point out that from the moment that they realized that Bob was a red herring, the music starts to pick up and the pacing starts to move. Like the individual scenes, things start happening faster now. This is the kind.
That's true. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
As soon as they realize, oh, Bob was some bullshit. Da, 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 da. Big event, big event, big event, big event. It's very interesting. Like this is a very unique style of storytelling right here. Like this is probably one of the most unique stories we've actually gone over this whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
In terms of traditional storytelling, we've been going over.
Because it's like two characters looking up for the same thing. The other one is doing it legally. The other one is doing it illegally.
And they all. Someone said it nicely, where like the prisoners aren't just the kids; it's everyone.
Yes.
Everyone's trapped.
Like a mental prison or something.
Yes, exactly. And now we finally, after being stuck for so long, we're almost breaking out now. If you know what I mean. Yeah, we're breaking out and now we're running now. Soon after, Kelly takes off after being chased by Loki because Thingamajiggy says, "Oh, Keller, you were there." And then Keller's like, "What?" And then he puts it together, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even get a chance to talk about this. I don't even know what you call this. Would you even call this show Don't Tell? Because he puts it together without letting us know.
Yeah, because I was like, why is he running?
Yeah. Without letting us know. And we're like, oh my God, is it because, you know what's funny? Do you know what it reminds me of? You probably won't. I'm not going to say you're too young, you're my age. But The Simpsons, right? There was a triple feature episode called Who Shot Mr. Burns? I don't know if you remember it.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, where like Mr. Burns like blots out the sun or something like that, then someone shoots him. And then when Mr. Burns wakes up, the first thing he says is, Homer Simpson, Homer Simpson, Homer Simpson.
Yes.
And like, and then everyone blames Homer Simpson. And like, they all start going up. That was the impression. That's what I thought was happening here. Like that's what I initially thought was happening. And he takes off, and because he's in a four-wheeler, ready for everything, he just climbs over the fucking grass, and he's gone. Cool. We fade. Yeah, so, what's his face?
He follows him.
Okay. Wait, yeah, Loki gives chase, but then, again, because he took off on the grass, he's lost. Yes. Climbs over like a thingamajiggy, and he's gone. So Loki's like, I know where he's going. Loki goes, and he hears Alex screaming. And then Alex plotline caught up. Thingamajiggy, next level. See, big move. Next thing we know, Keller's back at Holly's house. And you can see this nigga's angry, eh? Like, this nigga's not hiding shit. He's just like, I'm here to help. And it's like, nigga, maybe do some better acting there, buddy.
Dude, because they like state your case. Like, it's like, no, you know, your son, I feel like I was too harsh on him or whatever.
You can see this nigga's out here glaring, dog. Keller has a very distinct anger to him at that moment. Not even trying to hide, which was his mistake. That was his mistake.
What was his intention, though?
Hey, dog, he knows the kids are in there. He was gonna take her down. He was gonna give her the same treatment.
Oh yeah.
Remember, she finds a gun in his bag, in his tool bag. But because he was out here trying to play things smooth, about as smooth as a chainsaw, Holly gets a jump on him. Her gun is already ready.
Ish, dog.
He's forced to cuff himself and made to take a drugged Coca-Cola.
Yeah, like what was in there?
Hey, dog. I don't know. What's the thing? The Cosby syrup. Some of that Cosby juice.
Because it's like, if you want to see your daughter, you're gonna have to drink this. Yeah. Your choice.
And he's like, judging by how big you are, I think about a third of the bottle should do you good. Yeah. Fuck me. Jesus. All right.
Hey, dude.
We found out that yes, Alex was the first victim. Bobby Taylor being one of the many others. And that this is all about their war on God. The reason the father was caught was because he decided to boast to a man of God, not realizing what would happen as the man had a history of his own. That is tricked into going into a hole after getting shot. Holly drives away with his car to hide it. We cut to Loki being told to tell Holly about Alex. Keller prays again, and Loki shows up at the house, at the Holly house. She knocks on the door, but Holly doesn't answer. And Loki, of course, not being friends with closed doors, enters. In every single scene where he's outside a door, this man does not hesitate. Comes inside, examines the house, and he sees the husband with the pendant, dude. And that's when he puts it together. And now the search for Holly has a whole new meaning. Like that whole dimension shifts now.
Right.
He's prepping her, Anna with a huge needle and is injecting the kid when he finds when Loki finds them. He kills Holly, but his head is grazed, pouring blood over his eyes as he has to run for the hospital. He's half blind in a snowstorm against the clock as Anna is literally frothing at the mouth, dude.
Dude, that was a good scene.
Dog.
Because I kept wondering, is it gonna make it? Is it gonna hit anything?
Dog. And it's the kind of
gonna make it.
Yeah, they could crash into something, and that's 3 people dead right there.
Yeah.
And as things get more and more blurry for him, he makes it, and we fade to black. We open a new,
That moment where he gets out of the car and slips a bit. I wonder if that was written or if he just improvised.
It felt so real, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was improvised.
Yeah.
It felt real. Like, I don't, just yeah. Anyway, we open on a new day. The news talks of Alice being reunited with her family. The mother was watching the videotape. We see the little girl, Anna, with the red whistle.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mother's like, yo, no, it's not the real one. We just got her a new one after she said no. Anna's like, we found the whistle. And we were like, we just got her a new one.
Yeah.
The kids leave after thanking the detective. This leaves Grace and Loki together. And they kind of have this cool talk where she's just like, look, man, this guy is a good person. But she doesn't even know what happened. She thinks this man ran away. Like, they all think he ran away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're scared of getting busted.
Because the last time they saw him was running away from at the hospital, right? He didn't say anything to anybody. He didn't explain anything. He didn't figure anything out. Yeah.
Dude, we cut to the forensic team digging into the soil, which is, of course, is insane because soil in that temperature will be frozen. So they give up. The world is loud. Like, I never even noticed how loud the world was until it started turning things off. The generator goes silent and it becomes pure silence.
Right.
Him alone when he hears a sound. It's a whistle. The camera zooms in on him realizing, then he dismisses it. Then he hears it again for a second time. Then he dismisses it for a second time.
Mm.
And just when you think it's over, he hears it and then he thinks. And as he does, and then as it plays one more time, cuts to black.
You think he figured out that it was he did?
I think he did.
And do you think that he's going to end up in jail? Like, because I remember he was telling the wife, like the wife was asking, is he going to go to jail? It's like, most probably, yeah.
I mean, he doesn't want to say it to your face, you can't torture an innocent kid, even though,
Yeah.
But at the same time, believe it or not, in America, that stuff like, there's this one case, I should remember the name, but basically this guy took his kid to a karate class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Karate instructor was like a guy that was living inside the dojo, right?
Oh.
So the family was like, we really like you, man. Come chill with us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out the karate instructor was a pedophile. Grabbed the kid.
Oh, no.
The kid. And then they found them like 5 months later, dude.
Where did he go?
He went to Chicago because I think it was shot. Like, I think the thing happened like Florida. They ran away to Chicago because the man was still using the family's credit cards. That's how they caught him.
Mm-hmm.
As they were being flown back, right? It's famous. You need to look it up. On live TV, you see the bad guy, this guy, karate instructor, being walked. It's like a thing over his head.
Yes.
And they're walking past his payphones, right? And there's a guy with a hoodie who's like on a phone call, who then turns and does this and shoots this guy in the head live on camera, dude. Not guilty.
What?
Not guilty. The jury was like, we see nothing wrong here. I think he went to jail for something else. Like, I think for firing a gun in a public area.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he went to jail for that. But for the actual murdering of the guy, not guilty.
Wow.
Yeah, so it can happen. Stuff like that has happened before.
I mean, it would make sense. Because the moment, man, I've got mixed feelings because when we were slowly discovering that Paul Dano's character is innocent,
Yes.
I felt sorry for Hugh Jackman's character because I was like, yo, my man, you messed up big time, dog.
Yeah.
You messed up big time. The guy was actually innocent all along.
Yeah, but if he hadn't done that, remember this, if he hadn't done that, the girls would be dead already.
Yes.
That's number one. If he hadn't gone back to that house to go talk to the mother based off the information that he heard, he wouldn't have, what's her name, Joy wouldn't have had the opportunity to run away. Because remember, the distraction of him talking to her was what made Joy run away.
Yes.
And those girls would have been in that hole in the ground and probably would have been killed already if Alex hadn't left, if Alex had been kidnapped.
That's true.
So, yeah.
I think he might go to jail, but like you're saying, it might be for like a short period.
Yeah.
Because he's a hero nonetheless. Like he helped with this case.
Yeah. And it's heartbreaking because now this girl never even saw the dad rescue her. So that's number one. And now the dad's going to be in jail.
Hey, dude.
She has to recover from this.
Hey, dude.
So that's heartbreaking.
Kind of reminds me of John Q, because with John Q, I think after the operation.
Yes, because they took his heart. Yes. Was it a heart, right?
It was a heart.
Yeah, they took his heart. Yeah.
Did he die or did it? No.
Yeah, of course he died.
No.
His heart.
Didn't he end up in court?
No. Okay, I have to rewatch it, but I'm 99% sure he
ended up in court and then he was found guilty.
No, okay. Look, one of us is wrong because I'm 99% sure that. You remember he had that whole final speech?
No, I think he did get a heart, but I think it was not John Q's heart. It was like they found a match somewhere.
Now I want to Google this because now you got me dizzy.
I'm telling you, dog, because I remember it was 3 counts. And I think on 2 counts he was guilty. On 1 count he was not, I think. So he ended up going to jail, but he had saved his son's life. Because obviously kidnapping and attempted murder.
Yeah, you're right. He goes to jail for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it. He gets arrested for kidnapping, but he gets released for the attempted murder and all the other stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Nah, my bad.
No, it's all good.
Must have ended the movie half an hour early.
Pardon?
I could have sworn that that's how it ended because like even had the whole final speech and everything.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, conclusions. This is a masterclass in suspense and visual storytelling.
Yes.
And I believe this is our second Roger Deakins story. This man has done a great job being able to pull your focus to tell a story without having to use as many words as other people would use.
Which one was the first?
Oh, brother, how art thou?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Same cinematographer. Without having to use so many words, he can show you a story and make you feel it without having to use words. And of course, Denis Villeneuve is one of the greatest directors of our time. This is a story about faith, is one of the best told in a way that captures you for every second. This is a procedural crimes drama that hooks you with its suspense and tension. It's an awesome 9 out of 10 for me.
And what? 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'll give it, man, for me, I think it's a 10 out of 10, dog. Like, because there's so many twists and there's so many things that happen in this movie. There's moments where you're rooting for Alex, and there's moments where you're rooting for Loki.
And it's things, eh?
And there's moments where you wish they could work together, but because of what Alex did previously, they can't work together. Yeah. So that's the thing I like about, like, no one is necessarily wrong. Okay, well, you could say Alex was wrong because he kidnapped, but from his perspective and what we were shown, Paul Dano kept on saying stuff like, "I saw them," and
Yes.
So
Yeah,
why
what
would
happened
you
was
blame him?
they must have climbed on the car again. Then he gave them a ride. That's what I believe happened. But then when the ride ended, the mother was like, "Bring them in," and then that's what happened.
Oh yeah.
Because they really wanted to play with that car, but they knew the teenage kids weren't going to let them play with the car. So instead, what they did was they lied to the parents, they lied to the teenagers, well, they lied about the teenagers, so that way they could play with the car again, and that's when they got kidnapped. When Alex was like, "Do you want to go for a ride?" They were probably like, "Yay!" And then when the ride ended, the mother was there saying, "Take them in." Yeah.
So my question to you is, the husband, is it the guy that confessed to the priest?
Yes.
Oh,
Husband.
okay.
Because remember, when they were devout Christians and they had to watch their son die of cancer, which obviously broke them completely.
Yes.
To the point where they started killing people now with that maze, where they kidnap kids, drug them, make them try to fill out, give them fake hope, giving them a maze that can never be answered, and be like, "If you can pass this maze, we'll let you live," and then murdering them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he just said enough. Like he felt guilt.
Well, yeah, the man was a 16 kids, was a winning streak.
But also, like, why didn't the pastor call the cops?
Because he's a pedophile too.
Oh yeah.
But
I
obviously,
remember Loki was like, "Yeah, I'm from this school. Remember that school? What? Yeah."
I always wondered about that. So I'm like,
Yeah,
is
like
it a
what?
juvenile school? Is it a juvenile hall or is it a church school? That's what I don't, because I feel like both answers make sense to me.
For me, the juvenile makes more sense than the.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes more sense. That's why the tattoos are there, because this nigga went to juvie. Yeah.
Right.
I feel like that makes more sense to me. So yeah, that explains Loki and why he just doesn't seem to give a fuck about basic laws.
Yeah. That's what he's at odds with the captain all the time.
Yeah. And then he's beating up people, which actually has a consequence. Someone dies because of it. Him beating up on that guy. If he hadn't done that, Bob would still be alive.
Wait. Who?
The creep. The one who killed himself, shot himself in the mouth.
Oh, yes. But you see, this is where that whole B plot thing comes in, bro. Because he was wrong just as much as Hugh Jackman was wrong. It's just that the difference is Hugh Jackman didn't kill Paul Dano.
Oh, yeah.
But he killed, and he killed the wrong guy.
Yeah. And an innocent man, too. Like, that man was...
Yeah, because the forensic guy was like, how did this guy die? I thought he was in custody.
Yeah. And if the other cops hadn't had to rush in to go save him, to go save this guy, none of that would have happened. And everything that guy was doing that was creepy was him acting out what had happened to him in the past. Was reliving the horror of his existence. Snakes, the husband likes snakes. The creepy husband was in love with snakes, which is why that guy knew about snakes. The maths was because this guy said, "Hey, if you solve this puzzle, we'll let you out." And it turns out, no, the puzzles could never be solved. And I think the book that thingamajiggy was about that guy, was about the husband. The book about the amazing killer was about the husband. So it's all connected.
Damn.
Brilliantly connected.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give it another go. Check it out from a different perspective because I already know how it ends. And see what happens from there, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for the recommendation. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Guys, like I said, 10 out of 10. I won't change my words. I won't change my thought. This is a masterpiece.
Yes.
It's a movie that you can watch over and over and again, and you will learn something new the more you watch it. Is there anything you want to say, man?
Nah, man, that's it, man. Check out my book if you're interested. Action, sci-fi, modern urban fantasy. That's me right there. If you like my breakdowns, if you like our breakdowns, then maybe yeah.
Like the stuff he was cinematography. He was talking about, and funny enough, I think this guy was nominated actually for cinematography, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, the man has got multiple Oscars. I think so too. Let me see.
For this movie, I think where did I see it? It was chosen by the National Board Review as one of the top 10 films of 2013, and at the 86th Academy Awards, Roger Deakins was nominated for Best Cinematography.
Ah, it makes sense, dude. The rain scene. Like, I think we aren't, like, I literally at one point stopped what I was doing. Like, I think you saw my WhatsApp statuses where I was doing shots of cinematography. I should have done the shot of the rain, because the fact that the car was visible, but they were black, but you could see the rain and the silhouettes.
Right. It's art in its own.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how you do that. Like, do you know what I mean? Whatever you're thinking, I promise you it's harder than it looks.
No, I think you're right. Because I'm sure you probably also thought the same thing that I did.
But
like the lighting was probably from the opposite direction, obviously.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? When you do multiple angles of lighting, right, it evens it out. Like right now, I'm even.
Yes.
Got light in the front, I got light in the back.
Yes.
So now it had to somehow. Huh?
I'm thinking it was just probably from one direction, just only from one direction.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wish you could understand, like, the fact that it's black and then the white edges are so tight. Do you know what I mean? Like, it should be like black and then gray.
Oh, yeah.
It should be white, gray, black, actually. That's what I mean. But instead, it's white, black. Like, to me, it was, yeah. That shot.
I guess that's why he was nominated then for the Oscar, because makes sense.
It's like Citizen Kane. They had to like almost invent new technology to get the focus shot, that like blurriness from the distance.
Yes.
They had to like invent new depth of field technology to get that going. Like these things these people do, man.
Yes, dog.
Movie magic.
Just proves that they love what they do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Obsession. That's a product of obsession.
That's true. Oh, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, let us know your thoughts. Also, man, give us your recommendations, because Rob and I have a list already, but hey, we might, like I was saying, we might do a double bill, and maybe the following week we might do one of your recommendations. Have you watched this movie? If you have, what's your rating? Do you agree with our rating? Because we are not even giving it an 8.
Our highest. You know me,
this
like
this is our highest, no?
I think so. I think what was the early movie we did? I don't think it was Dark Knight. I don't think we gave Dark Knight this high of review. There was something we gave a very high review as well.
Was it not Lion King?
It did get a high review, but I don't think it was a 10.
Yeah, I don't think any movie got a 10 so far apart from this one. Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Rob and I will definitely check you out on the next one. Hopefully we'll have Lady Robsy joining us, but we'll see. All right, guys, thank you so much. Cheers.